Stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. In today's culture, that's labeled toxic masculinity. But Scripture reveals the truth. Strength rooted in love is biblical masculinity. Make your choice. Welcome back to the Choice Podcast, somewhere in the 50s episode, and we got something special for you.
The Gremlin Street Gang is responsible for hundreds of violent crimes, murders, armed robberies, witness intimidation, burglaries, drug trafficking, extortion, and brutal beatings. We've arrested 10 of these thugs and have warrants on 7 more. Every one of these animals is most definitely armed and dangerous. Darren Carter, Aaron Carter, Travis Cooper, Cody Guidry, Jaron Diggs, Kirkland Demachet, and Jonathan Landry. We have felony warrants for your arrest. You will be hunted, you will be tracked, and if you raise your weapon to a man like me, we'll return fire with superior fire.
Oh boy. All right.
So that's Captain Clay Higgins, and he is or was a sheriff's deputy in the parish just north of the parish I'm from.
Okay.
And he would do this every week. And he would put out new videos, burglars, criminals he was trying to find that he was having trouble and he wanted the community to help. And he would blast them like that, call them punks, threaten them, tell them he'd hunt them down.
And welcome back
to the
Choice Podcast. Jeez Louise, talk about a episode. Well, listen, boys, we are deep in Mardi Gras time.
Mardi Gras time.
For our boys from South Louisiana. And so we got to talking about Mardi Gras and a DC Mardi Gras thing, and my man, your man, Captain Clay Higgins, came up.
He was a guest speaker at the DC Mardi Gras this past Friday, and I was there.
And so we thought we'd give him a little shout out.
Yeah, they call it an econ development luncheon, economic development luncheon for the state.
Yeah.
And they have guest speakers. So it opened up with Mike Johnson.
Yep.
Then Captain Clay Higgins spoke. Let's see, who was else? Congressman Scalise, who, as you know, was shot a few years ago during the baseball game.
Yeah, that's right.
By a crazed lunatic. Jeanette Letlow, a few other Louisiana officials, state elected officials were there. And Clay Higgins is no longer Captain Clay Higgins. He's actually now Congressman Clay Higgins.
That's crazy, right?
And he went from that to, immediate fame throughout the state because the community loved somebody who was standing up for right. And that's right. He was a little harsh on what he said. Yep. He didn't pull any punches. And kind of, you might say it's a little Trumpian, if that's a word. But when they made threats to him, he just took it right back to him, and he blasted on television.
Offense. The best defense.
It's a good offense.
That's it.
He said, "Come get it. If you're scared, I'm easy to find."
Holy moly!
So he's our congressman. So
man,
it was Mardi Gras, and you were asking, well, when is Mardi Gras? So I'll give you a quick intro to Mardi Gras as per Josh and my understanding.
This is great. I know it's in February. We know we do king cake, something about a baby.
So yeah,
I'm excited here.
It's not always in February. It's always the day before Ash Wednesday.
Oh.
So it follows the Catholic calendar. A lot of people down there are Catholic, staunch, generational.
Did you say something about Catholic or not? That's the first question they ask you?
Yeah, they ask you, who's your mama? Are you Catholic? And can you make a roux?
We talked about a roux a couple episodes
Those
ago.
are usually the 3 questions you get. And they want to know who your mom is. Even if they don't know her, they want to know how she's doing.
Your mom and them.
How's your mom and them? And you say, well, my mom, in my case, passed away about 4 years ago. And they say, oh, I'm so sorry. How's your daddy doing? They've never met my dad, but they want to know. So there's no strangers down there. It's just people you haven't met yet. But yeah, so Mardi Gras, the way it started is Ash Wednesday in the Catholic religion is the day where you give things up for 30 days of Lent, right?
Yep.
So maybe you give up
We
whatever.
ain't talked about old regular Rob in a while.
Yeah. So whatever you give up, whatever your vice is, maybe it's caffeine, maybe for some people it's nicotine or smoking, or maybe it's chocolate or something coffee you really like. And then it turned into, well, on Tuesday, they call it Fat Tuesday. So Fat Tuesday is where you indulge in that thing you're about to give up for 30 days. And then hence the Mardi Gras masks, where people would put masks on and they would indulge in this debauchery behavior in the streets with a mask on. And then the Mardi Gras balls became a thing. So there was like, they have different crews for every ball. So you might have a crew of...
A crew, like people crew?
Kind of, yeah. So if you're part of a crew, you're like, say, the crew of Endymion or the crew of Bacchus or the crew of Apollo or whatever the case.
I'm not sure I follow.
Well, they just name these crews according to, it sounds like Greek gods, I guess. And then your crew will name a king and queen of the court, and they'll name princesses and so on. And this is a huge honor, but it's also an extreme expense. Like the gowns the women will wear will be handmade. These are $10,000 to $15,000 gowns. If you're a king of a crew, it's probably going to be a $35,000 to $50,000 expense that year for you. You're going to be buying gifts for your whole court, which might be 10 or 15 people, and that's going to be $1,000 a piece per gift.
What the heck?
I mean, this is a big, big deal. And then all that money is going to go.
Did you know this, Patty B? I didn't know that.
All that money is going to go into renting out facilities and throwing parties for your crew leading up. So usually I'd say around the end of January starts Mardi Gras season, where there's a ball every weekend for somebody's crew. Now, you can't go unless you're invited. And I've gone to a few Mardi Gras balls, not a lot. I was never part of a crew. I didn't come from that those kinds of means, that kind of money. That would be a socialite. It's definitely a socialite debutante type thing. If your your daughter is going to be announced as a princess in the crew of Endymion, you're going to take off work. You're going to go to New Orleans, go to the Endymion ball, and watch her be announced. She'll be wearing a gorgeous gown, and it's a big deal. And it's a who's who kind of thing.
I had no idea.
A little too snotty for me.
Where's the king cake come in?
So the king cake, it has a tie back to the Bible. So
really?
Jesus is, again, Catholic Church. And so now let's not get it wrong, but it's loosely tied. So the king cake is in the shape of a crown. And by that, I mean like an oval, usually nothing more. It's not like it's a legit crown, like a Burger King crown or something. It's just an oval shape. I like to say if a wedding cake and a donut were to have a baby, that's what a king cake tastes like.
It's actually delicious.
It's phenomenal. I'll try to bring some back from Louisiana next week when I come back, and we'll have king cake. Now, there's a little bitty baby, a little plastic baby.
What about it?
It's the size of like your thumbnail. It's very dangerous.
Oh, I've seen this. Yeah, you
and
break your tooth.
You can break a tooth, yeah, or you can swallow it. It's very, very dangerous. So generally, the bakers who do king cakes, they won't put the baby in there. They'll let you do that for the liability piece, and you stuff it in the king cake. And for your crew or your Mardi Gras party, you'll have a king cake. Some are really big, some are rather small. You stuff the baby under, you lift the cake, the crown, the oval up, and you stuff it in there somewhere so it's hidden. And then whoever gets that piece with the baby, it's a big celebration, and then they're buying the next king cake for the next year. Or your crew's next party might be next weekend. And so this starts festival season in Louisiana. So whenever Mardi Gras ends, which is Ash Wednesday, is usually a break through the 30 days of Lent, and then the festival season starts. So everywhere within a 30-mile radius of Lafayette, my hometown, there's a festival. And a festival is for literally everything. There is the Rice Festival, the Frog Leg Festival, the Crawfish Festival, the Omelet Festival, you name it. There's the Boudin Festival, everything. And what they do for a festival, it's to support that local town's economy, and they shut the downtown area down, and it's a party that weekend. And Lafayette is known for Festival International, which is the best festival in the world. It's
if they do say so.
It's the same weekend as Jazz Fest in New Orleans, which I will never go to because Festival International happens that weekend, and it's free. And Festival International, the cool thing about that one is every French-speaking nation around the world, which there are many. We're talking nations. Hopefully you'll have Canada will be there, Haiti, different countries in Africa, France, and they bring their culture, their clothing, their dance, their music, and they will shut our whole town down, and they park 18-wheeler flatbeds in these parking lots of these businesses, and that becomes a band stage.
Oh.
And so it might be a Canadian band, it might be a Haitian music band, it might be a French band or whatever. And everything, there's food trucks on the streets. And now it's got a little more commercialized, but when I was a kid, there was no commercial food. There was no pizza. There was no fried chicken stores. It was all jambalaya and Creole food and Haitian food and French food cuisine. And you just stop at these food trucks and food booths and you just buy food and eat on the street. And Festival International is great because it's family oriented. There's crafts, there's clothing, there's music and art, and you name it. And so then that lasts probably until the end of summer. Every weekend around Lafayette, there's a festival somewhere. And because Lafayette can't stop having a good time, that's called Bon Temps Roulé, pass a good time, or let the good times roll, rather. Yeah, let's let the good times roll, Bon Temps Roulé. We can't do without parties. So Lafayette starts Downtown Alive. At the end of festival season, Downtown Alive starts, and it's Friday night from 5 o'clock to midnight. And the same thing happens every Friday night. You just come as you are when you get off of work. If you're in a doctor's uniform or a cop uniform, or maybe you're a pipe fitter or a welder or, whatever you might be.
What if you're a donkey jawbone hitter?
If you're a donkey jawbone hitter, you would have to wear the typical donkey jawbone uniform, hitting uniform.
But I think that would probably be like a toga.
Yeah,
something
absolutely.
with that dead animal skin.
Absolutely.
Long hair like Samson, Nazarite.
Yeah, and probably like a leather satchel thing that you would have some type of weaponry, some stones and a sling or something in there that you could wreak some havoc on an animal with.
We like havoc. If you didn't know what that is, I'm looking at the cameras. That's from the first season. Donkey, look it up. A donkey jawbone hitter.
And if you got one,
it's like a pipe hitter, but it's different.
If you got one,
but biblical.
Reach out to us and send it to us, and we'll put it right here by the duck.
We need to get this fortune table figured out, and I think we are. But anyway,
so that happens all the way up until probably Thanksgiving, when Festival International would end, when Downtown Alive would end, and we roll right into the Christmas celebration season. And then right after Christmas, you have New Year's, Valentine's Day, and bam, we're back in Mardi Gras. Back at it to Mardi Gras. So
what do you think about this, Matty B?
That culture doesn't stop. They are always about bon temps roulé. Let the good times roll.
The life of the party.
Yeah, it's definitely a community event all the time.
Yeah, it sounds
very,
like it.
very thick over there. And I'm getting tangled up in my cords here. There we go. I found the culprit. But yeah, so Clay Higgins was at the DC Mardi Gras, which is basically where a bunch of Louisiana people, business owners, will come into DC and they'll meet with their elected officials. They'll talk about the economy, how to revitalize a certain area of Louisiana or whatever. And I was there for business, and all these guys were speaking. I got to see one of my favorites from North Louisiana, which I don't say a lot of my favorite anything's from North Louisiana, but
which we established as north of I-10.
Yeah, and it's basically just considered Lower Arkansas. That's what their LA stands for.
Which is at least 65 to 70% of the state is the north of I-10.
100%, yeah. Not 100% of the state, but you're 100% right. But Senator John Kennedy.
Oh, he's a dude, my man. He's so funny.
And yeah,
he's stone cold.
He is, yeah. And he is so smart. But he plays that silly hillbilly hick role like he's just kind of dumb and backwoods.
He's not dumb.
But his brain is clicking.
Witty.
And he'll let you know.
Yeah.
He'll let you know. I mean, he makes those comments like he said, actually, Ocasio-Cortez is the reason they have directions on a shampoo bottle.
The guy's crazy.
That is a quote. He gave me a cup and a T-shirt. I won't
take
the T-shirt. I met him.
Yeah.
But the cup had a picture of his face on it, and it said, "If you believe the government's here to help you, you clearly failed history."
Okay, and, he's right.
He doesn't play. He doesn't pull any punches.
No, slow talking, smooth talking, Cajun man.
And then you have Clay Higgins.
Would he be considered Cajun? Not Clay Higgins.
No.
The other guy's not Cajun. Way too far north.
Way too. He's like Shreveport, Monroe. area.
All right.
Now they might, because I mean, Duck Dynasty says they're Cajun and
They say that?
They do, and they eat boudin. I mean, anybody making boudin, Shreveport, Monroe. They live in West Monroe. I've been to West Monroe. You know what they have there? A paper mill. That's all. It stinks. Those people say that smell. They're like that. You know, that smell that makes your car stink all night long. When you get in, it smells like someone didn't use the bidet in your car. And
Here we go again.
You know what they say? They say that's the smell of money.
Money.
Because they all work at the paper mill.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so gross.
If you could miss it, we spent a large portion of the last episode on bidets. So we won't.
We just lightly covered it.
Yeah, we lightly covered. We have more to talk about.
But if you're lightly covered, a bidet will get it off. Maddie is 100% disgusted with us.
He was
tonight.
Yep, because that was tonight. It wasn't like many days ago.
He's had his shirt pulled over his face, shaking his head.
He hates it.
The majority of the time.
Actually. Well, speaking of Matty B, my man.
Yeah, let's talk about Matty B for a minute.
I just want to say real quick that I'm very proud of this young man.
Yeah, absolutely.
He had a moment this past weekend where they asked him to share his testimony.
In front of the entire church for 2 services.
Yeah, sure did. And the man killed it.
Well, that's tough, too, because you're talking about some pretty serious stuff for any individual.
Oh, it's always serious. It's your business. You're putting your business out there.
Yeah, so whatever it is that you're talking about in your testimony is serious to you, you know, and it's part of your story.
Life-changing, yeah.
And to have
usually not the most proud moments.
Yeah, you're kind of, it's a bit of a vulnerable moment, but to have the manliness to stand up in front of a crowd and be that transparent in front of a bunch of people, maybe some you don't even know, maybe some you've never even met. And to say, hey, look, let me just go ahead and drop the cloak and show you who I am on the inside.
What was that like, Matty B?
Yeah, what was it like?
The first time, so getting him speaking in front of people, that isn't something new. As we've mentioned before, spent many years in higher education, so giving presentations was just an afterthought. But this is something real, something meaningful that wasn't my own. This was God, what he has done in my life, that he has done by just his power and mercy and the grace. Because as we've said here, we don't deserve any of this, and being able to give back to him and just, I said a prayer before I went up there and was just like, Lord, this is your story. Do with it as you will, even if I don't tell it perfectly.
Oh, no. You don't need to tell perfectly.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, it came out perfect. And one thing I liked is I've harped on this in the men's group before. We've talked about it several times. And I don't know that we've talked about it in front of Matty B, but man, he nailed it with this formula. He kept it brief. He didn't elaborate on anything in particular. He told us.
Unlike us.
Right, to a degree.
Way cleaner.
Yeah. Much more mature sounding.
He doesn't use one.
No, he doesn't. But he told the story of who he was before he started following Christ. He talked about some struggles he'd had in his life, but he didn't glorify the sin.
Didn't glorify the sin. You say that a lot. Actually.
And he focused on what God has done in his life and how it's changed his life now that he's walking with the Lord. And that's exactly the model that people want to hear. And and the crazy thing is, Matt, is that you never know who your story is going to speak to. It might not be the guy in front of me or the guy behind me or to the right or left, but it might be the guy 2 aisles over that was exactly what he needed to hear. And we may never know who that guy is, but God knew, and God put him there, and he heard it. And man, to have the guts to get up there and be a man and be transparent and just get it done.
Yeah, it was good.
Hats off to you, brother.
And you know how I know he cares?
Solid.
Because I asked him before the first service, because I was there.
Yeah.
And I know he cares, but he's like, hey, man, you nervous? And he's like, yep. I'm like, and then, I was giving him some, what I would consider coaching advice, trying to pep talk him a little bit, and give him just speak some truth into him. And he's like, I didn't sleep all night. And so you knew the man cared, and had passion about what he was, and what he was doing mattered, because it's enough to lose sleep over.
Yeah, it meant something.
You're welcome, Matty B, if you want to share any portion of that for the fellas, or you just want to move on.
Yeah, the biggest thing is don't let that anxiety come in, because you are opening your closet of skeletons. You're like, hey, this is where I came up short, and this is where God's grace met me.
I love it.
And before I started walking with the Lord, I wasn't doing my story isn't compared to someone like Stevie P's, but what you said earlier, his story touches someone, and everyone's story touches someone differently.
Sure.
So maybe it's that fresh out of college, know where to go, trying to live by themselves, and they are experiencing the same thing. But it's just
Right.
Once it leaves my mouth, that's where it stops. My job is done.
Yeah, and he'll use it.
Yeah, and he'll water it, nourish it. My job was just to plant the seed.
Well, you were speaking the word,
love
and
it.
God's word says his word doesn't come back void.
I love it.
It's not for nothing. It's for somebody that needed to hear it, heard it. Whether we ever know who that is or not, that's for God to decide.
Yeah, and we're talking about, like many, many, many man-y stories. Most of them have to do with the time that you're not incredibly proud, and our lives take a course. They have strikes, they have gutters, ups, downs, things we do well, things that we really, really, really screw up, and that's where we're at right now with our man David, right? And so we're now on the segment. I guess it's a segment. Episode 3 of 3, and I do think we'll get through David in 3. Shockingly, we had a lot of fun on the way. We mostly covered David, I think. Question mark?
We covered a lot of things.
And then we got uncovered because we're cleanlymen.
We might have covered bidets to an equal degree that we covered
Toilet showers.
David. Yeah, toilet showers.
It was way more fun.
I wonder, do you think, what's the over and under on, did David ever use a bidet?
Well, let's think.
Now, he wouldn't have had running water,
right?
So there's no hose.
A little splashy splash.
But he might have done the Afghan style, a little bucket and splashy splash.
I think he's a man. He's a king. If anyone's going to do it,
The king will do it.
the king will do it. And I think that's the guy. Well, that's what we're talking about. They definitely bathe, because we're going to get to that today. Old girl on the rooftop. And so we've covered David up to Goliath. The dude's a stud. Then David just being a bro on the run, but still like saving the countryside.
Could have killed the king twice.
Didn't.
Took the high road.
Very much so. And then now we are on the 3rd of 3 episodes on our good friend David, which, man, and crazy thing, you're going to meet this man someday, by the way. He's like, hey,
Yeah.
y'all got a little bit wrong.
Yeah, like, idiot.
Yeah, dummies. Like, actually,
I didn't use a bidet.
you clowns.
Yeah. We used a soaking bowl.
Because we know
Like,
that
what?
old boy's in heaven. Soaking bowl? What are you talking
I'm
about?
just thinking, like, if he didn't have running water.
like a little dip? Bloop.
Yeah, like maybe he just got like a booty-shaped
Or like
bowl.
a squishy,
And like, you just do your business and you sit in it and like, you know?
little shaky, shimmy shake?
Oh, shimmy shake.
Yeah.
Like, all right, we're done.
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's probably close.
Maybe I'm thinking about, he could have got a stick,
So here's the thing.
tied a pine cone to it, dip it in the water, and
I proposed this question to our good friend,
Here we go.
America's favorite pastor, and our good friend Will, and they just that was 40 minutes ago. They finally, one of them, America's favorite pastor, I said, random question: either of you ever used a toilet shower? And now the America's favorite pastor said no, LOL. So I'm thinking it's a low number. The percentage is like 10 to 20.
So what you're saying is I'm on the cutting edge of cleanliness.
Cutting edge. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what
I'm about to
saying.
call my friend who said he sous vide a steak and ask him if he did.
I definitely did. If you sous vide a steak, your bidet use, it's exponentially increased.
I bet you Gary from
The Squatch Man,
the Squatch Man, I bet you he has.
6'6". Let me get dirty.
I'm texting him right now.
Okay, text him. And so, well, we're on episode 3 of 3 of David, and now David is the king. And if originally, David is not king of all of Israel, he's king of Judah, which is another tie into Jesus, right? The Lion of Judah. And Jesus, by the way, is a descendant, or in the descendant line, Mary, in fact, I believe, of David. And there's a whole thing about and podcast on that one. But yeah, and so David is anointed king, and the man is just doing things. And he was at the age of 30, Matty B. And so he ruled for, I learned this today, I didn't know it was this long, 40 years. So that if you go back and read some of the Chronicles and whatnot, like the kings don't lead for that long, especially the ones that have fallen. And so for David to lead for 40 years is saying something. And it just goes to show who he was. And in fact, he was anointed. And in fact, our man David, Joshua, during this time, we got some things to cover. What do you want to cover about David during his kingship? I got some things to say. We know we're going to get to the Bathsheba. What do you think?
Quick podcast question. Have you ever used a bidet?
Still texting. All right. Well, we'll see what he comes back with.
How do you spell bidet?
BIDET.
That's what I thought, but my autocorrect does not want to accept it. Maybe that should be a sign.
That's a sign.
In fact, I'm not even going to ask. I'm going to ask several dudes in one text because I think I'm going to get more than just one dude to say yes.
Oh, boy. I'm going to do it, too. There it is. I'm asking the same thing. What was that, Matty B? All right, I've
Just
asked
a little flair.
4 people.
I asked 2.
All right, we'll see. That's 6. All right. Somebody still need to be cut out. All right, we'll see what happens. Record scratch us. All right, we're back. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
David
you were
the
saying
King.
something important.
Here's some things I'm just going to throw out there. You tell me what you want to cover.
Break it down.
David the King. He gets the Ark of the Covenant back.
He does.
David the King doesn't initially bring it back because he didn't do it correctly. Leaves it outside, goes back and gets it later. David the King built the temple. David the King has this prophet named Nathan who speaks truth into him. David the King has the Bathsheba moments. David the King has, near the end of his life, he forgives his enemy moments. What of these, Joshua, would you like to go into?
Well, I mean, I think the obvious one's going to be Bathsheba.
Just want to park there?
I think it's a good one to cover. Some guys,
it's a great man story.
Some guys know the story. Some guys may not. Maybe they're hung up on not hung up. Maybe their whole knowledge of David is David and Goliath. But the Bathsheba thing is...
Because we've established up to this point, he's a man of God and he can't do much wrong. Are we in agreement?
Well, he hasn't done much wrong.
Or at this point. We've set up to today that he really is... We've given him a lot of credit.
But every man's got a weakness.
And here we are. So yeah, that's the point we need to make here. As good as David was, he had a fault, Josh.
He did.
So let's just kind of recap here for a second. David was a king. He was a commander of thousands, right? And so therefore, all his noble warriors kind of worked for him as the king.
Yeah, sure.
Right? And there was, for whatever reason, in this particular story, now we're in 2 Samuel 11. Okay. Old boy has commanders out in the field. He's not out. I don't remember the reason. I could go back and look. Yeah, they're ravaging the Ammonites, besieged Rabbah. David remained at Jerusalem, and I don't know why. And then I'm just going to read it. It happened, this is Samuel 2:11, verse 2. It happened late one afternoon when David arose. I'm going to read from the beginning. In the spring of the year, the time when the kings go out to battle, David sent Joab and his servants with him and all Israel, and they ravaged the Ammonites and besieged Rabbah. I guess that's how you say it. But David remained at Jerusalem. By the way, it wasn't Jerusalem previous to this. They established it.
Mm-hmm.
He conquered it, and that's where they built the temple. It happened late one afternoon when David arose from his couch and was walking on the roof of the king's house, that he saw from the roof a woman bathing, and the woman was very beautiful.
Okay, so I'll let you continue, and then I'll say my
And David
comment.
sent and inquired about the woman, and one said, "Is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite?" That's one of David's soldiers. So David sent messengers and took her, and she came to him, and he lay with her. That's the Old Testament way of saying things happened that aren't good. Now she had been purifying herself from her uncleanness. cleanness. Then she returned to her house, and the woman conceived, and she sent and told David, I am pregnant. Record scratch. That's where we'll pick up the story.
Okay, I'd pick it up at the very beginning.
Send it.
It said, now in the spring,
Yeah.
in the time of year when
The kings go out to battle.
the kings go out to battle, I would pose the idea to the table here, the very plastic forging table, that David fell because he quit fighting.
Oh.
He
wasn't where he was supposed to be.
All of David's battles, physical battles, not like I have a battle with whatever.
Blank, yeah.
Fill in the blank. But all of his legit battles, he had the Lord's presence on him. He had God's favor.
The whole time.
He was slaying people.
Yeah. Bad
especially
dudes.
those that came against the Lord.
He got the ark back. He built a temple.
Yeah.
Tons of favor.
And then it's time to go back to battle. And David quits fighting. And he stays behind. There's a lack of action on his part. It shows.
Is this Adam-esque?
Yeah.
Somewhat.
So was it fear? I don't know. Doesn't say that. Was it hesitation? I don't know. Doesn't say that. What it does say is the kings are supposed to go to battle. He's a king, doesn't go to battle. And when you're not doing what God's called you to do, watch out.
Yeah.
Because then the fall is going to come quick. And where does he get hit?
Right.
In a weak spot. There we go. Just pose for a quick photo. Was for
Facebook.
In a weak spot where men can easily be hit with the lust of the eyes, the lust of flesh.
Yeah.
And here's what I think probably happened. He probably glanced over there, and as you said before, the glancing over and recognizing it isn't the bad part. The bad part is that second glance.
Yeah, we've talked about that. It's not the first, it's the second.
And here's the lie. I'm just going to look.
Well, that's a good point.
Just going to take a look.
And yeah, in this case,
you're entertaining the enemy's playground.
Dude, come on. And he's got you. Like right here, and it happened. David arose from his couch and was walking on the roof of the king's house. Then he saw from the roof a woman bathing, and the woman was very beautiful. Right there, it's like, okay, you couldn't have avoided that. Move on, and you're cool. It was that first look. Like, okay, I don't like it. I'm turning away, but here's what he did.
Hey, let's not be weird about this.
The next
he could have looked over there and said, wow, I like that. And I know that's a point of weakness. I better purposefully
I'm going back inside.
Put my head down and walk away.
And I'm disrespecting my boy Uriah, by the way. It's his wife. But here's what he did. And David sent and inquired about the woman. And it was it's not like he's like, I went over there myself, did the crazy deed and came back. Like, no. He insidiously sold himself. Like, go see who that is. Then his friends are like, are you sure that's the guy? Like, yeah, bring her over. Yeah, do the thing. And then they said he lay with her. And this just didn't happen in like an afternoon, I wouldn't suspect, right? It was probably over the course of a few days. And you know what I mean? It's like he had plenty, my point here. There were probably a bunch of off-ramps that he could have taken. And he kept going one more step. Just look a little longer. One more step, a little bit longer, a little bit more. Call her back over.
Next thing you know,
do the thing. Yeah.
He's got himself
and now
in a bind.
He's pregnant. Now she's like going to have a child. And now he's in a pinch. So then what happens? I'm not going to read all of it, but summarize.
Well, then he tries to cover up his sin, which a lot of us do.
Yeah.
We get caught in the midst of what we're doing, and then we either start to try to cover it up or we pull the full-on Adam and try to shift blame. That's where we would go. Well, what he did was he sent Bathsheba's husband,
Uriah the Hittite,
to a sure death.
Yeah, so exactly right. So he
tried to make this go away.
Well, before that, he brought him in from the field and he said, hey, boy. He's like, hey, boy. And this is the crazy part. He's like, come on in, have a feast, go hang out with your wife tonight. And you know what happened? What Uriah did do, the Hittite did.
What's that?
He slept at the doorstep of the temple or the David's house because he wasn't going to go. He said, I'm not going over there.
Oh, that's right.
With her because my
when
boys.
my soldiers are still out there in the field.
Correct.
So I'm not going to go live it up.
No.
And get
Exactly.
some R&R time.
Bingo. And then
when my boys are doing the real deal
because David's assuming he's going to sleep with his wife, then he'll never know.
He can shuck off the problem.
Bingo. And then Dave's like, uh-oh. And then what's he do? He does it next day, gets him drunk and says, go home, see your wife. He's still, Uriah the Hittite, honorable guy.
Yeah, he's definitely
still doesn't do it. So now he's really in a panic. Sends him out to the front lines, said, put him in the front, make sure he doesn't come back. And you know what happened?
Murder now.
They put him in the front and he died. He was killed in battle. And
so now your boy's on the hook in front of the Lord, if you want to say it that way, for adultery, getting his friend's wife pregnant, trying to cover it up, and then murder.
Has him killed.
This is rough.
And then writes messages to have that covered up.
Yeah.
It's a massive, nasty web.
Oh, he's stepping in it now.
A guy who was, again, anointed with the Holy Spirit from the beginning as a boy shepherd, did a bunch of great things, and now this.
So what's it take for him to come to terms with all this?
Oh, you tell me.
Well, doesn't his boy, what's his name?
Oh, Nathan?
Nathan.
Yeah, Nathan the prophet. That's in chapter 12.
Come and talk him some sense into him.
Here it is. Nathan rebukes David. Chapter 12, 2 Samuel 12. And the Lord sent Nathan to David. He came to him and said to him, oh, this is a parable. There's a whole bunch, but I will read it. Why the heck not? There were two men in a certain city, the one rich and the other poor. The rich man had very many flocks and herds, but the poor man had nothing but one little ewe lamb, which he had bought. And he brought it up, and it grew with him and with his children. It used to eat of his morsel and drink from his cup and lie in his arms, and it was like a daughter to him. But now there came a traveler to the rich man, and he was unwilling to take one of his own flock or herd to prepare for the guest who had come to him. But he took the poor man's lamb and prepared it for the man who had come to him. Then David's listening to this story from Nathan the prophet. Then David's anger was greatly kindled against the man, and he said to Nathan, as the Lord lives, the man who has done this deserves to die, and he shall restore the lamb fourfold because he did this thing and because he had no pity. And Nathan said to David, you are that man. And
so
thus
Nathan calls David out.
Yep.
Just like Captain Clay Higgins would have.
Oh, that's how. Great point. That's where we're coming back to. And the Lord, thus says the Lord, behold, I will raise up evil against you out of your house, your own house. He's talking to David. And I will take your wives before your eyes, give them to your neighbor, and he shall lie with your wives in the sight of the sun. For you did it secretly, but I will do this thing before all Israel, before the sun. Holy moly.
What script, what are you reading out of?
I'm reading in 2 Samuel 12. Now that was verse 11.
12.
And then he said, for you did it secretly, but I will do all this before all Israel and before the sun. And David said to Nathan, I have sinned against the Lord. And Nathan the prophet said to David, the Lord also has put away your sin. You shall not die. Nevertheless, because by this deed you have utterly scorned the Lord, the child who was born to you shall die. Then Nathan went to his house. Fast forward.
So he basically says, oh, go ahead.
Fast forward. The child's born. David is stricken with grief, and he dies.
Okay.
Bathsheba has another son later, which is named Solomon. Turns out that son, he's been restored and redeemed. God loves, and he is the future king, Solomon. Big deal. Smartest man who ever lived. Wisest, allegedly. Wrote Ecclesiastes and a bunch of other things.
Yeah. But there's an interesting thing here. Like, so David was forgiven when he finally reconciled and admitted his wrongdoing.
Yeah.
But it didn't take away, what's the word I'm looking for? The reality that there will be a consequence.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, and so, I mean, I think about that, and it's like, our actions have consequences.
Maybe not death, because David wasn't death. He's like, no, he says it right there. He's like, the Lord has put away your sin, so you shall not die, but you will pay.
There will be a payment.
Yep.
There will be a payment for this. I mean, what he did was egregious. The fact that he slept with his boy's wife
And then had him killed.
was bad enough.
Very bad.
But then when he goes a step further and has him killed to try to cover, who's he hiding this from? Not from God.
He know.
And David knows God. He knows God. He knows God knows this.
Man.
So he's like, this is the sinful side of us, the foolishness. You know, this is Adam.
A man anointed with the Holy Spirit can still do the most egregious sin.
Yeah.
Adultery and then murder.
And look, people, the average dude in 2026 loves David. David killed Goliath. David's
warrior.
bro.
Warrior king.
You really got to start weighing this out. David was not, he was great when God's favor was on him. When he was relishing in his own sinful nature, he was a flop. Dude was a straight fake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And I would say this is the Peter thing. And it's the same for all of us. You take your eyes off the Lord and you're sinking. That's what happened to Peter.
Great. It's the Peter thing. Yeah, that's right.
You take your eyes off the Lord and you start dabbling in things in this world and you're sinking.
Yeah.
That's how it works. You know when? Every time.
Every single time.
Every single time. And what's the enemy going to use? Whatever that weak Achilles heel is for me. That's what he's using
really
on
good.
me.
That's really good.
What's he using on you? Whatever the thing is for you. Maybe yours isn't the same as mine. Maybe Maddie's is different than all of ours. Whatever. Satan's going to use whatever he thinks is going to trip me up.
Yeah.
If for somebody it's lust of the flesh, if somebody else it's drugs, if somebody else it's you name the thing, cheating on your tax, whatever your thing is. That's what he's going to use to trip you up, because all he needs you to do is take your eyes off of the one who matters and you're done.
Yeah.
And you know who pays the price? You and the next generation are going to feel it.
Yeah, your family, your wife, your kids.
Because you are in a position of leadership as the man in your family.
And if he can take you down.
Then done. It's over. It's a wrap. He wants your whole family.
That's the even more of a reason to just double down on, like, you have to be the rock, the shield.
Yeah.
You have to be the
and
shield.
And you've got to be able to take the blows on behalf of your family,
and
so they don't have to.
And that sucks sometimes.
It does. But the other side of that is, if you get lazy, if you refuse action, if you're made for battle and you don't go to battle. For David, it was legitimate battle. For us, the battle is spiritual. For us, is whatever. If we don't take the action, they take the blows.
Buddy.
Oof. I'm not
so
talking
good.
to anybody else but myself at all.
Definitely me.
Yeah,
I'm going through it right
us.
now, and I'm thinking to myself, and I used to tell folks this all the time when we talk about leadership stuff. Like, are you, as a leader of an organization, are you a mirror or are you a filter? What I mean by that is, are you taking things, the crap that comes, here we go with the crap thing again. Are you taking the junk that comes down line and letting it reflect right off you onto your team, a mirror? Or are you taking the junk that comes down line, tasks, other bad news, whatever, filtering out what they need to know, bearing the rest of the burden yourself, and giving them a refined version that they don't have so much crap to deal with on the other side?
Well, I think that's excellent, Eric. And I think part of that is, like, as a leader, which we all are, whether you're a leader in your job, in your career, or just in your home, or in your church, if you're a leader, ask yourself, when's the last time I've been taking blows for my team?
Willingly.
When have I taken the hits for them?
Sought them.
Yeah. When have I been looking out saying, there's a hit coming, I'm taking it. Let me take the brunt of that blow. That's why you're there. And if you're a leader in any position, whether it's in your church, whether it's in your house, whether it's on your job, your career, if you haven't taken blows, maybe you're not a leader.
Ooh.
Maybe you're just taking up a leadership position and getting in the way of a leader that should be
Leader
there.
in name only.
Yeah. So when's the last time you've taken a blow for your team?
Ugh. And then not only that, you went and sought it out. Like, get me.
Yeah. Because I've got to employ these guys to do their job. I'm their leader. So I'm looking for the blows that are coming at them. They're going to stop them or trip them up, and I'm going to stop those blows.
I'm going to step in front of those flaming arrows.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Oh, man, that's so good. It's preaching to me right now, man, what I'm going through right now as well.
I know. Me too. Me too.
Man,
myself.
You inspire me. But yeah, and that's what we're talking about here. And the whole point of this thing is like, leadership is difficult. And no matter how perfect you are, David, up to this point, you are flawed and you are susceptible and you can be influenced. And what you said earlier is exactly on point. The enemy will find the way to get through the chinks in your armor. But the question isn't always what you did, it's what you do.
Yeah.
It's not how it happened, it's how you respond. And so the question becomes, David took it like a man. He's like, I've sinned. Our good friend and America's favorite pastor, Garrett, Pastor Garrett Erickson, said it this weekend in the sermon. And we're in the parables right now as a sermon series at the church. And tomorrow, well, I guess it's the next episode for you guys, we're going to do a parable. And we're going to do 2 parables in the next 3 episodes. One of them is going to be the parable of the lost son. And he said it, and I won't get too far into it, but he said this. This is what it comes down to. Two our words. You need to recognize what you've done and then repent. And so we'll talk about that on the next episode, but essentially it's meaning like your lost son is gone. If you're the lost son, you need to realize that you have made a wayward move. Recognize that, and then be like, okay, we'll get into it tomorrow, but then it's like, Father, I've sinned against you and the family. I'm repenting. And then we'll get into what happens. But that's what needs to happen. And David here, and I'm going to read it because he said it in chapter 12, 1 paragraph later, he said, oh boy, David said to Nathan, I have sinned against the Lord. It's that simple. And if you're talking about recognition and repentance for some of the things you did, and maybe you haven't cheated on your wife with somebody else's spouse, and you haven't had anybody murdered, but you've sinned, and sin is sin, buddy.
And it all grieves the heart of the Father.
And here's what he did. He owned it. It comes down to ownership, Josh.
It does.
I have sinned against the Lord. Full stop. Seek the blows we were just talking about. Let me handle it. Put it on my shoulders, and let me learn from this thing, right? Own it. And then that's the only thing you can do. It's not what you did, it's what you're going to do with it. Right? It's not the action, it's the response. And then it's like, what are you going from here? Because we have as a people, because we are built in his image, he's a forgiving and loving God. And like him, we have it in our DNA to give somebody a second chance. I just think we do. And we love a comeback story. And so people that have repented, I mean, that's the Christian, Maddie B's testimony, the Christian, yours. The Christian story 101 is a story of, the Christian male men story is one of failure and redemption. And your only redemption is through one man, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, who walked the earth and took our sins with him because we can't do it ourselves. And our entire story is us screwing it up, him covering our sin for us and taking it with him, and therefore we're restored. We just need to believe it.
He didn't just cover their sin. There was a few things that had to happen first. They had to come clean with what they did.
Repent.
So that was the repent part.
Yep.
When they repented fully, this is what we did. We knew it was wrong.
Yeah.
This is what we did. All of the stuff was put out in the open. Then the covering happened.
And it's not just covering. It says washed away.
Yeah.
Like it never, the Greek, it's like it never happened.
And see, man, sometimes we get hung up on that. Like, man, I've screwed up so bad. I knew better. I know truth. I did it.
Attack of the enemy. He's telling you this.
I can't be forgiven for this. I knew better. Let me tell you something. What you're saying at that point is, Jesus, what you did on the cross wasn't enough. You
Great
didn't
point.
do enough.
You're a liar.
Yeah, you didn't do enough. That was
what you say isn't true.
Yeah, yeah. Well, how about this? The reality is, it is enough. God made the rules. You don't make the rules. It's enough. He did all of it. that sin is removed as far as the east is from the west. I don't know how far that is. It seems like a pretty long way to me.
I don't know. Yeah.
But I'm good with it.
Yeah.
And somehow I'm washed white as snow because of his blood, the red blood. Doesn't even make sense to me, but I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
I don't want, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be the same, whatever that Irish, Scottish pastor, I can't even think of his name right now, that tells a story about what it must be like for the thief on the cross the day
C.S.
he walks.
Lewis?
No, he's still alive. I'll think of it in a minute. Pastor Garrett's probably saying his name right now, saying, "Come on, Josh, get it straight in your head."
Get it. Yeah.
I can't get it. Anyway, he said, that thief had to probably walk in and they're probably like, what are you doing here?
And
I mean, the dude's guilty as could be. And you know what he said? He said, and they said, well, wait a minute. Don't you understand justification by faith? And he's like, yeah, never heard of that.
Nope, but that guy told me I could be here.
He said, yeah, but have you ever been to a Bible study? Have you ever been to men's night? Nope. Ever been baptized? Church? Nope. Do you at least understand
What's
the
church?
principle of the gospel? Nope.
Gospel.
Then what are you doing here? And he says, the guy on the middle cross. That guy said I could come.
You want to hear something crazy I just thought of?
Done.
Was that thief the first soul in heaven? He was the first saved, the first Jesus saved human.
Yeah, I don't know how God treated
I don't either.
the
It's
previous,
just a question.
But man,
We
it's
need somebody
interesting.
smarter than us.
Yeah.
So the first person in was a thief.
Yeah. I think
And
we're
you're
gonna
not good enough?
I think we're going to be surprised who's there and maybe who's not.
Oh, jeez Louise. I mean, and all those things you said earlier, it's like, that's the fight I'm fighting too. It's like, nah, I'm not worthy. Yeah, but shame on me.
Well, the
Because he
reality
said-
is we're not
yeah, well, true.
in our own selves. I can do it on my very best day. I'm still not worthy. You're not worthy.
No.
And we can be pretty good dudes on our
Once
best
in a
day.
while. Yeah.
We can be pretty good dudes. That isn't what it takes.
Nope.
And that makes me wonder, like you said it, like this is the recipe that God created. I want you to confess, own up to it, and then ask me to forgive you. And it's done. And isn't that what we want from somebody when they wrong us? If it's a guy at work that does something wrong, if it's your wife, if it's your kids, if it's your mom, your dad, we screw up with our kids. When I go to them and say, hey, I blew it last night. We had that argument with disagreement. I got loud. I raised my voice. It was whatever the story is, or I wasn't sensitive to my wife. I talked ugly to her. I was cold to her, and that, something upset her. I told her she was dumb for being upset about that. And I'm basically telling her that what's important to her is dumb. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to my male brain, I'm speaking out of my maleness.
Just being real, bro.
To me, that's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you just called your wife dumb. Good job, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And all she wants to do is say, I recognize what I did was wrong. Forgive me.
Yeah.
And bam, all of a sudden, instantly, everybody feels better in their gut. Because we're made in his image.
Yeah.
That's the recipe he created.
Yeah.
Hey, Adam, what have you done? Why are you hiding? He just wanted honesty. Come to me, bring me your problem. I tell my kids this all the time. I can help you in any situation, but not if you lie to me.
Right.
You've got to be honest with me. And look, I will cover it. Be honest. As forgiveness, I will cover it for you. I will make myself look like a complete fool so you don't have to.
Yeah.
That's what he does for me.
He did.
He is willing to look like a fool to the whole world to cover my sin. What?
Yeah, what?
That's the recipe he came up with. That's incredible.
It's incredible. And you can't make this stuff up.
You can't make it up, and the math doesn't even add right in my brain, but I like
math
it.
Even
and,
math right.
Yeah, but I'm glad it's the math equation he chose because he took the brunt of all of it.
Man.
And I'm sad to say that my guys I reached out to have not commented yet on whether or not
I got one. Average Adam chimed in.
He's done it, hasn't
He's a
he?
no.
Oh, it's so ridiculous.
All right, that saga will continue.
These are all Pennsylvania boys, isn't it?
Yeah, you ain't getting none of that fancy wet yourself junk.
Yeah, talk to me, King of Persia or whatever your town is.
Persia,
whatever.
you said Persia.
What's it called?
Prussia.
Whatever.
It's just as dumb. I'm not defending it.
It's like Persia and Russia had a baby. They called it Prussia.
Well, Prussia is actually an old country. It's
Whatever.
prior to Germany.
Whatever.
Clausewitz. Karl von Clausewitz.
No, he's just making up words, trying to confuse
on war.
me.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. The Prussian General Staff was a real thing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, where do we come, Josh? So we're now finishing up the saga of David. Man, I cannot believe we actually did it in 3 episodes.
Well, I mean, I think there's a ton more to
You're
unpack.
right.
And
we
I would
always
say
super high level.
I would say this. We covered it with some broad strokes, but man, if you really want to hear some interesting stuff, and you can pick out 100 different lessons, especially for men, over the life of David, go read through it. I thought I knew
there's a lot
some
there
pretty good stuff on David.
Oh, yeah.
And I learned over the last day or so, there's a lot about David I really wasn't tracking.
Yeah. That you really need to dig into Hiram, the king of Tyre, helping him build the temple, the Ark of the Covenant returning.
Getting the Ark back.
And then take a look at the temple they built and what they did with it. And then Solomon finishes it, I think.
Yeah. David wasn't going to, yeah, that's right. It would be his kids that finish it. And that would be Solomon. Yeah, man, there's just a ton there. And it's worth the read, and it's an interesting read too. That's the thing.
It's a story. It's not going to beat you over the head with it.
It's truly a story, and you can watch the twists and turns it makes, and you can see the things
coming. And they recover it in pretty good detail.
Yeah, and you're like, David, don't do that. Oh, you did
it.
Oh, bro, wrong move. But then you see when he's walking with the Lord, it's like
he's a real dude.
He's a real guy.
A realist of dudes.
He's a real guy.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at David.
No, not mad at David. Listen, he's in the line of Jesus, first of all.
Yeah, and he owned up to his mess ups.
And he's a what do they call it? He's a type. He's a typology. He's a type of. He was a foreshadowing a lot of different ways, which we didn't get. See, that's places we could have rabbits we could have chased, and we sure
could
didn't.
Have. But you know what else? What else? A big one that we didn't cover is that sometimes you need a man like that to come to you and call you on your own mess.
Like who?
Like Nathan, the guy that spoke truth to David.
Correct, yeah.
And look, man, he's the king. Hey, king.
Even the king has a dude.
Let me tell you this.
Yeah. And he went on his own. It said, the Lord sent Nathan to David. Oh, okay. Very well. That's because he was the prophet, right? Samuel had died, and then it was Nathan.
But I mean, sometimes we need another strong man of the Lord who can come alongside us and say, look, I'm just going to call you out on this. I'm not going to pull any punches here. This is the real thing. And then lay it out for us. And sometimes that's what it's going to take for me to snap out of my mess.
Yeah, I really need that sometimes too.
Yeah, we all do.
So here's the thing. So what do we decide, Matty B? We got the dirtbag tracker. And what is it?
I'll have to give it some more thought.
Let me propose this. We can ask them, is he a dirtbag or a dude? Dudes are good.
I like, dudes are
dude
cool.
or dirtbag? Dude or dirtbag?
Dude or dirtbag. There we go. I like it. That works for me, huh?
Yeah.
What do you think, Matty B? So David.
Dude or dirtbag?
I think he's a dude.
Yeah. I would say he had a moment of dirtbaggery there, but well recovered.
Well, there's one thing that I don't say we.
Oh, you were supposed to give us facts.
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna say one more thing. So he pleaded with God to not have the child he had with Bathsheba die.
Oh yeah, the first one.
Yes. So he fasted until he died, and then after that, he got up and started eating again. And then so in verse 21, this is 2 Samuel 12, his attendants asked him, why are you acting this way? While the child was alive, you fasted and wept. But now that your child is dead, you get up and eat. He answered, while the child was still alive, I fasted and wept. I thought, who knows? The Lord may be gracious to me and let the child live. But now that he is dead, why should I go on fasting? Can I bring him back again? I will go to him, but he will not return to me. So he accepted the consequence of his actions.
And then moved on.
And then he confronted Bathsheba, and then Solomon is in the picture.
Yep. Solomon became a king.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that funny? Is that's your only fact? You had another one?
No, I got 4 more. I was just wanting
Think about this for a second. Track
wanted
this,
to do
and I
that.
brought this up in our little Genesis training the other night.
Yeah.
How many times in Scripture is it in the first son as the second?
Yeah.
Once again, here in David, it's not the first son; it's the second, Solomon. Right? It's not. It's not Cain. It's Abel. It's not. That was the righteous one, right? It's not Ishmael. It was Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't any of the first 11 sons. It was Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then he had. Yeah, I mean, it tracks throughout.
What's that mean for me when I
Esau
was the
and-
first son?
What's that?
What's that mean for me when I was the first son?
Are you the only one?
Yeah.
I think you're good.
So
Yeah, but there's so many second sons in this thing.
that's
Maybe
interesting.
nothing, but it is interesting. What else you got, Matty B?
So these are some practical. This is your giant, quote unquote, giant slaying moments are run long before you reach the battlefield. Faithfulness in small invisible tasks prepares you for big public ones. Going back to what David, when he was a shepherd in the wild, fighting off the lions and bears,
Yeah.
and then so he practiced when no one was watching, and then so
mm-hmm.
when it came time.
Yeah.
And that leads me to the next point. Don't try to solve problems with someone else's armor. Use your unique
Let's
strengths
talk
and
about
focuses
Saul and Goliath.
on the
Yeah.
size of your God, not the size of your problems.
Mm.
Ooh, interesting.
So
like
he could have used Saul's, but it says in Scripture wasn't able to test it.
Someone else's armor isn't your solution.
Yes,
Yeah.
and he used what
Worked for him.
Yes,
Yeah.
What he knew
Right.
worked
Yeah.
from experience, which was Christ. Well, which was God.
yes. The next
And a
one,
sling.
yes. The next one is integrity isn't about never failing. It's about how you respond when you do. True growth starts with owning your mistake without buts.
Without butts. Here we are in the butts thing again.
Mm-hmm. Right back to it every time.
Why, see, that's your fault this time, Matty B.
You did it, brother.
I'll own up. I did.
There it is. Hey, we've come full circle. That deserves a cheer or some kind of fancy
Yeah, something.
sound effect.
And then this is the last one.
All
Just
right.
because you're destined for something doesn't mean you should force it. Respect the process and the people in authority over you, even when it's difficult.
Did you just make these up yourself?
Nah,
Where'd you come up with these things?
AI.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a lot of what we were talking about.
Yeah, I know. That's why I thought it would be a good
This is a little wrap up.
Yeah, just as wrap up is because the first one was about what he used, what God put in his life as a shepherd to when it was called for him to use his opportunity, he used what he was trained with.
Yeah.
Same thing with facing your Goliath requires perspective. You have to use what will work for you, not what works for Josh or Eric or someone else.
Yeah.
And then the power of radical accountability.
Yeah.
We just talked about it this episode. He made a mistake, couple mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord sent someone to call him out on it. And then he said, yeah, I sinned.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then wait for the right timing. Because he was anointed king as a teenager. He could have graciously, as he did, waited, or he could have was beaten at the bush to try to become king. But he was like, no, God has a plan, and his timing is perfect. So I'll just keep being a shepherd until the time comes.
Yep.
So I just think it's a way to tie back into David as just some main lessons from his life.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good, man.
It's really good. That's a good little wrap up you did for the rest of us. Cool, man. Well, Josh, where are we going next? Next episode.
Next episode, we got a couple parables we're doing.
Yep. Parable.
And we got a special guest.
We do. And you guys are going to like him. He's got a really interesting story.
That story is something else. And I've not met the guy.
No, none of us have.
That's cool. I can't wait to talk to him.
Yeah.
And that was just somebody who responded to the podcast.
Yep.
And we threw it out there. Would he like to come on? And sure enough, he said absolutely.
Cool.
And he's got quite a story, but he's got some cool things he's into now.
Yep.
That he's up to, I guess, not into, but up to.
Yeah, and tomorrow night we also have, a couple episodes from now we got 11th Hour Alliance folks.
Yeah.
And they'll be in studio, I guess, hanging out with us, talking. So I think we're going to do the next one will be Parable of the Lost Son, which is a really good one. And then we'll do the special guest And then the one after that, we'll do Parable of the Talents with our friends from Freedom Church.
Okay.
Does that work?
That works great.
All right. Any closing thoughts on David?
Yeah. I think he's a dude.
He's a dude.
I think he messed up royally.
No pun
I
intended.
think, yeah, that's funny. I think the Lord sent somebody to call him straight, and at least he had ears to hear that when that message came. And had he not reacted like he did, had he continued to deny and deny to the end, I think he'd have been on the other tracker. But look, we all mess up, and we all mess up big time sometimes.
Yeah.
How are we going to, not about what we did with that mess up. It's what we're doing now with it.
That's exactly right.
So, hey, he reacted accordingly the way he should have. God was just and faithful to forgive him the same way he is just and faithful to forgive all of us. And you know, I mean, I guess that means that if propane delivery company A were to repent and ask forgiveness from God, I would have to accept that. Past behavior tells me they probably won't.
Yeah. Dictates they wouldn't.
Yeah, if we were looking at past behavior patterns, one might say. Yeah.
Well,
we
if
hope
you've got your
pray
own
for them.
if you've got your own propane story, feel free to email us in thechoicepodcastshow@gmail.com. You can come find us on Facebook at The Choice Podcast Show. And we're on YouTube, and we're supposed to tell you to like at things and smash things and click bells.
Yep,
and
subscribe, follow, phone a friend, all that stuff. We're trying to put this stuff everywhere to make it as convenient as possible. So all we're asking is let us know you're out there.
That's it. And we'll engage with you.
If you think we're ridiculous, tell us we're ridiculous. That's fine too.
And you're probably right.
But you probably should defend it because we'll email you back with something piffy or something.
That's right. Ain't gonna be free.
But if you do it on this one, you need to answer. Just say bidet yes, bidet no.
Oh, that's a
Just
hard no.
have you done it?
Capital no.
I'm just saying.
I'll try it someday. It's like dog biscuits.
When you get an Amazon package delivered to your house, and there's a bidet hose attachment, just know it's from Maddie B.
I'm gonna give you a rundown if that's the case. It's for Maddie B. All right, friends. Remember this. We love you. We appreciate you. Thanks for joining us. Coming on next time. And also remember always, we're men of the world. Follow trends, but men of the faith, like our good friend David, follow truth.
Make your choice.